Hi, y'all. Jamie here, proud trans woman from New Orleans, Louisiana, 54 years old. So, yesterday I had a little bit of a, personal day. I didn't feel really good. But the day before that, I left you all. I had met a boy named Damon, and I was 16. He was actually 15, and he had just left his mother's home, kind of like I did when I was 14. And yeah, so we spent that first night wrapped in each other's arms, lost in each other, doing what kids do best. And while we were laying there talking, we found out that we'd actually met before. What happened was, we're laying there talking, and I've got my head on his chest and being all googly eyed looking at him. And we were talking about where we used to live and where we were kids at. And come to find out, both of our mothers lived at the same apartment complex there in Houston. And so we had met there. Yeah, when I was 11 and he was 10. We had met at the apartments. It took a little bit to remember each other, and then we did. See, when I was 11 and he was 10, we were playing in the apartments, and there was like a pool house out by the pool, and I think me and him and some other kids had played Monopoly and stuff. And anyway, me and him kind of tipped to the side, and we shared a little kiss, a little innocent little kid's kiss, but we did. So for us to meet just a few years later as teenagers and ready to date, kind of cool, kind of cool. And yes, Damon was my first love, my first puppy love. I always refer to him as my puppy love because I've had grown love, and it didn't have the same innocence that I had with Damon. You know, grown love, you've experienced life a little. And yeah, with Damon, it was all brand new. And he was also the first person I ever had sex with that it just felt right. And everything about it just fell into place. And I didn't feel dirty or awkward. I didn't hate him touching me. Some of the stuff that I dealt with other people a lot. Yeah, so we became a couple right away. And about a month into us being together, Damon said he wanted to take me out one day. And he said, "Come on, get up, get dressed. Let's go out and let's spend the day." And I said, "Okay." So we did. And I got dressed and we went out, and he took me to the zoo. And we walked around and holding hands and looking at all the animals and everything. And then we went to a park and we spent some time there. And then we went to the Galleria there in Houston. And there's a restaurant there called the Orient Express. It's a chain of them. I know some of you probably have heard of the Orient Express. And it's a nice Chinese restaurant, white linen tablecloths and the whole 9 yards. And so he took me there to eat. And like I said, we had been seeing each other about a month. And we're sitting there in the middle of the restaurant. We ordered our food. And then all of a sudden, Damon gets up in the middle of the restaurant. And he kind of excuses himself and clears his throat. And, "Everyone, if I could have your attention." The boy gets down on his knees and proposes to me in front of a whole restaurant full of people in the middle of the afternoon. Keep in mind, I'm 16, he's 15. There's no way we're actually getting married right then. But it was the thought, y'all. And of course I gushed, and of course I was like, "Yes, I love you." And that was our first date. So during this time, Bo had taken off for a little bit, and Bo had gone to LA. She had asked me to go too, and me and LA, we have a destiny, me and LA, but just not yet in the story. And so Beau had taken off for LA, and me and Damon were, settling into our thing. And then Damon decides to tell me after a couple of months, he's like, listen, what do you think about us having an open relationship? Yeah, puppy love. Open relationship. Can you imagine my reaction? So I did something. We all know when I do something. If you'd like to know what I did to Damon for asking me for an open relationship, y'all know the drill. Be here tomorrow and I will too. Love you all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the love and thank you for the comments. And I hope you're still liking the story with this little love story side step. Okay? Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.